now tell you the Institute for Human Continuity's little secret, because it's important to understanding the rest of this story. I did a who is search on the website and found that it was bought and owned and maintained by Sony Pictures, who has the blockbuster movie 2012 coming out in November of 2009. Interestingly, a few weeks ago, Sony Pictures announced that they were pushing back the release date for 2012 almost a whole year. That's right, a whole year. And if you look at the trailer of the movie, and you understand a few concepts that I'm about to tell you, you might understand why they did this. But first I want you to notice this explains a lot of the other things that are happening on that website, and why people look like B-movie actors, and why there's no record of any of their groundbreaking research. The reason is that it's entirely fictional. But I beg you to realize how serious this is. Sony Pictures is deliberately presenting this in an almost flawless way, telling people that the best scientists in the world have actually scientifically determined that the world is going to end in 2012, and that the only way to survive and to save our families is to give them all of our family's personal information. And then when you get the confirmation email, does it tell you that, hey, this was all a big promotion? No, it gets you even deeper and deeper into it. But that's kind of how this works. Sony has the out of being able to say, oh, it was just viral promotion, we were just playing around. But this information is very good. This is probably one of the best websites I've ever seen, and there's no indication whatsoever anywhere that this is a Sony Pictures promotion for a movie. I'm telling you, this is way, way too far, and I tell you something else, that it is not in order to get you to see a movie. It is to get you to do as the trailer implores you to do, which is to find out the truth and Google 2012. And if an unsuspecting person does this, they will be met with the usual suspects who dazzle people with the certain truths that they have about how the world is nothing like they've been told, while also teaching them to open themselves up to the spirit world and encourage channeling. In the case of David Wilcock and in the case of Michael Tsarian, he tells us that the only salvation is through magic and secret rituals. This is where they want as many people as possible for a very specific reason, which is that there will in fact be a series of cataclysms coming, and there will be war and famine leading up to 2012. The true elites know this all too well, and they definitely know it's also not because of galactic alignment. So on one hand, it's kind of a misdirection to make sure we don't pay attention to the real prophecies, but on the other hand, they are trying to make it look like other prophecies are coming true, all prophecies. But in trying to fulfill all of them, they're going to have to paint with very broad strokes. And what I mean by that is that ultimately we're going to be asked to settle. That is, that there's going to be a lot of miraculous things going on, maybe even aliens and things like that, and they're going to basically say, hey, this is what all your prophecies were talking about. And even though we'll be able to say, well, this isn't exactly what our prophecies were talking about, but it's close, most people will agree that, hey, close is pretty good, maybe we didn't get the prophecies quite right, it has been an awful long time, and things like that. That's the plan. The following is what I think will happen, and keep in mind it could happen so many different ways, and I'm probably wrong about some very key elements in this, but I'll just tell you what I think will be happening. They will position a particular man to rule over this war and to rule over the chaos in the years leading up to 2012. And this man will be kind of a patsy antichrist that will embody all things New World Order. Even the very unreligious will see him as the Antichrist. He will, in my opinion, be set up for the purpose of being knocked down by the real Antichrist, who will then look like the actual return of Christ because he defeated the evil system. I think that this will happen around 2012. He will then tell us something like, all the religions kind of had it right, and they will unite the entire world with the promise of a new millennia of peace, which the Bible says is a false peace that will only last a few months before this person or being shows his true colors. But at that point it may be too late for some. They may have given this person or being access to their free will in some way. I encourage you to research things like Zeitgeist's claim about Jesus and some of the other conspiracy New Age claims about Jesus that we all think that we know, that I once believed myself. But I encourage you to find out if they're true or not. And if they aren't true, ask yourself why the entire system will concede every truth about conspiracies of the New World Order, but all trip on themselves about this one guy that lived 2,000 years ago. Ask yourself why the entire system is so afraid of this guy. The answer is out there. Thanks for your time.